Welcome, everybody, to the Pro Wing Racing League. This is the GT3 Sprint Championship. Season 17, Round 9 here at Road America. I actually already said this, but I had my mic muted. I'm kind of giggly. But anyway, get into the race. It's going to be a wet race. Transitional wet race. So we should see it go dry to wet. And it's already been kind of interesting. Get drivers in the 216s, 217s, 220s even. When it was still pretty wet on track, and then in the dries, now you got drivers going in the 204s, 205s, and 206s. So it's gonna be very interesting. Can't wait to see how it all unfolds. We have over 51 drivers that have entered this race, and hopefully they can make something happen here. Almost full. That said, in the pro category, we have Travis Deegan, who is first right now. Mark Foley is trailing behind by only, gosh, I want to say just under 20 points. There is a small gap between those two drivers. Peter Flanner is in third, followed by the Pro-Am class of Braden Daniels, who's leading in first over Aiden Gertz, who is in second, and Chris Lambeth in third. In the AM category, we have Tyler Kern leading overall over Forrest Holland, who's in second, and Craig Carroll, who's in third. In the rookie category, Daniel McElvey is in first, and I don't even think this driver has showed up. Has missed one round in the second half, and I don't think I've seen him since. Just not here, but as the current title holder at the moment for the rookies, Adam Thomas is in second and Rick Wishon is in third. Rick is here, so that is still on the table, and so does Adam Thomas. Adam Thomas is in sixth in the overall right now. Going over to the team championship, we have Carrera Azteca still leading by a commanding lead of over 600 points. I'm not sure if that's accurate. No, it isn't. That was in the first half. And the overall, ooh, they have quite a bit of points lead advantage. It's over 1,000 points now. Actually, let's say like 700 points difference. So Mark Foley, Marcus Rascari, and Carrera Azteca leading by a commanding lead over Elliot Burton, Peter Flannery for the Draft Punk Gold Team. Shake and Bake Racing is in third, Draft Punk Silver in fourth, Bluth Racing in fifth, Team Juice in sixth, Vols Holla in seven, Thunder Thighs in eight, Paxman 9, Valhalla in 10, Caffeine Global Motorsports in 11, Valhalla and These Nuts in 12, Valhalla Motorsports in 13, E3 Motorsports in 14, Tachyon Simsport in 15, Ace Arrays 16, XAZ Motorsports in 17, and Vols Holla Black in 18. Also, haven't seen that team since race. What was that? Race 2. Where's the rain? I think it's gonna start up about halfway through this race. That's how the forecast goes. I hear someone crashing, but I don't see them. Anyway, as things are dying down here with 5 minutes 50 seconds left to go in practice, we'll go over qualifying shortly. As it stands, with the dry almost completely engulfing the track now, it was pretty wet for most of the session. We're getting back to the times where we need to see. A 204.5 is what Peter Flanner did, and you got 5 drivers on the 204s, and then you go to the 205s with Elliot Burton in P6, and 205s all the way down to P16. 17, as someone has just, Jake Daly has now gone on the 204s. And then after that, you got 206s of Forrest Holland in P18, all the way down to P22. So not a lot of drive. Oh, 23, I should say. 24. Jesus. Okay, a couple people just crossed the line. Now P8, still P18 to P24, and then Alexier. Oh, just got another one in the 206s. Actually, a couple more. Alexier is in P29 at the moment with a 207.000. Impressive. And not a whole lot of drivers in the 207s. We got P29 to P36, and then 208s, and then everyone else just trails off. It is what it is. There's going to be some mini gaps formed, just some relative competition between some of the drivers, but overall, there's going to be a big gap from the top of the order to the bottom of the order. That said, we got ourselves a Pro-Am leading right now, commandingly overall. Take a look here at our handy-dandy 4 classes of racing. You got your Pros in gold, and then you got your Pro-Ams in purple, the purple Pams, and then you got your AM class in blue, light blue, and then red is for the rookies. Jake Daly, who's leading in first, Marshall Scari in second, leading in the overall. That could change. Andrew Frank down there in 12th for the AM class, and Adam Thomas up in 8th for the rookie class. And then you have yourselves what might be a bunch of reds that are going to be joining the Pro-Ams, maybe even pros, depends. Colin Pepper has been pretty effective since he joined. His speed is definitely notable. And yeah, I think we could see at least 3 or drivers being promoted into the pro class, and then the rest getting shuffled in as they are as we scroll down the list. There's Andrew Frank in 12th, and then Forrest Holland in 19th. That's a difference in practice at the moment. But then you go further down the order, and it's starting to go blue and red and some purple. 15 AM class drivers, 14 rookie class drivers, 11 Pro-Ams, and 8 pros all signed up tonight. It's a good list there from Brandon Burns. I had a really interesting stat since we started this season 17. We've had 47 rookies attempt to race here at Broken Wing Racing League. And I say attempt because a lot of these are one-offs. You got your one race in the middle, and then bam, they're gone. But it does happen. We just get some drivers here for an invitational, and then are back out of it. Your consistent ones are at the top 11, I would say. But then out of that, yeah, everyone else is just coming in. Same thing with the AM class. The AM class has 27 registered drivers who have competed that are affiliated for more than the 6 race minimum. Mark Sherman off there to the barrier. Unfortunate. But again, only, I would say, about 17, maybe 18 are showing up all the time. Just pretty good number. In the Pro-Am class, we have 21 registered drivers there as well. And I would say almost all of them in the Pro-Am class are here competitively. About 17 of them. Which is interesting when you think that only 11 of them showed up today. That said, there's 17 pro drivers that are also among us, but only 11 of them are typically showing up all the time. What is it? Trey did the first 3 races and then bailed out on round 4, 5, and 6, and then showed up for round 7 and 8, but not round 9. Trey would be our Goldilocks zone because he's done about the same as some of the other drivers. 13 pro drivers total that would probably be consistent enough to say that they have that many that are there every time. And it's Joshua Justice into the barrier. And we are done with practice. 7 seconds to go. And we're back. 14 minutes, 34 seconds left in qualifying. Mark Foley is going to be the first driver out there. Be interesting to see what happens with these conditions as they are on track. There is still spray, but it should be mostly fine. Everyone's staying away from those puddles. Oof, there is still some formations of stuff happening there. Alright, I thought it was drier than this, but in the middle section it is very much wet, and you have to pace yourself more than at least the first couple laps. Oh, what was that? Graphical error. Not the trees. Nice little nod there for Mark Foley, who's in that Carrera Azteca as he drives under the mission board there. They make tortillas for everybody. They make more than tortillas, but that's their staple. There is some weird graphical stuff happening. Gotta be related to the rain. Exterior shots. And we'll hop on board. I don't think Mark's going to truly go for it, although he did go for it on the last round, and probably rounds before that as well, but you don't like to see someone coming out, but not really in his way. Oh, he's got somebody there, and somebody's already off. Turn 1. Turn 3 he goes. He's got a driver that might give him a good tow. He wants to hold it for a second, but it's on by Steve McAllister there. Oof. Already looks slightly better in this lap. More drivers are hoping to create a dry line. I don't think we're going to get the 204s. If anything, we're going to get somewhere in between the 204s and the 216s is where the fastest drivers in the wet were. And I'm not even sure if that was the full on wet, but that was kind of where they're at. Maybe it was they're getting faster as time went on, because some drivers were in the 222s, 223s, 224s. That could have been at the start of the session when it was extremely wet. The times ticked down as the track dried, and looks like we got some new faces. Andrew McMurray, welcome to the league. First driver across the line, and it was a 216. Kind of what we expected there. A 218 out of Jeff. Elliott Burton with a 217. And he's in second. Only drivers that have set times so far. Peter Flanders set the lap, not just yet. Braden Daniels in fourth. 217 for Alex Zier. Braden Daniels in fifth, Joshua D in sixth, Dylan Thomas in seven, and Forrest Holland in eight with a 220. The times are going to be crazy Craig Carroll into P6. Andrew Frank into 7. Tyler Kern into 10th. Jake Daly into 2nd. Brandon Burns into 10th. Peter Flanner probably just nursing these right now. What did he do? He's P15, but he did a 238. Yeah, he's definitely nursing those ones. Kyle Strauss into 16. Matt Benson at 13. Mark Turek into 12th. Trent Sheckelman into 12th. Just beats out one guy over there. Andrew, oh man, how do I say his name again? Andrew Fagan into 14th. And Colin Pepper into 6th. Travis Deegan into 4th. Who did I miss here? Daryl Carrington into 26. Aiden Gertz into 27. Craig Reese into 25. Adam Thomas into 20th. Reagan Chandler into 30th. Todd Buellmore into 19th. Prashant Jayaraman into 18th. Carter A. Thompson into 6th. Nick Mazza into 4th. Lars Tyhouse into 16th as Tom Smith goes into 8th. Who else? Marshall Scary into 26. I'm not sure if I said him. Liam Leckie, a rookie. Across the board there, and it looks like he's running some type of, like, not even showing up. He's got the accents, but nothing else is there. It's like a, that's interesting. Mark Foley crosses the line, take the fastest lap. Jeff Koffold into 2nd with that time. It was a 2:16.097. Oliver Burks into 12th. Across the line he goes. Braden Daniels improves into 12th. Dylan Thomas improves into 7th. Alex Zier into 4th with his time across the board. That's 2:16.5. Andrew McMurray into 24th. He was a Taco Bell delivery guy. Tyler Kern into his 8th. That's an improvement from him. Rodrigo Theory into 9th for his time across the board. Jake Daly takes the fastest lap away from Mark Foley with a 2:15.7. Mark Turek goes a little quicker on this one. Goes into 28th with his time. 2:19.6. Kyle Strauss into 32nd. Angel Bonello Soto into 40th. Peter Flanner across the line with an improvement of a 2:31.009. I think he is still trying to just get some warmth going here. This is not reflective of this pro driver at all. Chris Schitterling hasn't set a time just yet. Maybe he will. Joshua Justice hasn't. Marshall Scary improves into 25th. As Adam Thomas improves into 27th. Isaac Gardner into 17th. And Chris Schitterling goes into 5th place with that time across the board. 2:16.3. And that is Adam Thomas, I think. Eric Koonsman hasn't set a time yet. Rick Rishon also hasn't set a time just yet. Theo Nolasco also no time, but maybe he will on this lap. This is going to be his 2nd lap. Just didn't set one on the 1st. And does that put him on the board? No, it does not. Angel Bonello Soto up into 17th, though, just behind, and has a little sick drift. And we can see there, that was he's also lost it, so unfortunate for Theo, who's out there. Steve McAllister in a 40th. And now into 34th. An improved lap. John Javecki improves into 18th. Elliot Burton. Don't think I've said his name, and he's in 1st now with a 2:14.7. Andrew Frank improves into 12th. Andrew Korostecki, definitely haven't said him. The 2:15.8. I think he knows where the limits are, and he's pushing. So far, It is kind of bizarre. P1 and 2 are Pro-M drivers. Elliott Burton and Jake Daly. Mark Foley is the leader of the pros. He's in third. The leader of the AM class is in fourth. And Andrew McMurray is in eighth. He's the leader of the rookies with Liam Leckie, a rookie, just behind him. It's impressive. Craig Reese improves into 29th with his time. 2:17.9. Marshall Scary improves into 19th. Todd Buellmore, I think, is out of it, but he's in 20th at the moment. He'll probably lose a bit there. Prashant Jayaraman. He is just set into second, with Chris Chitterling in third, Jake Daly being pushed down into fourth, and Mark Foley in fifth. But Chris Chitterling is now leading for the pros. This is going to truly be an interesting class battle because you got the top two together. Your pros are separated by one Pro-Am driver. AM class could walk away with this because they're in 6th, and Tyler Kern and Andrew Frank, who's in 2nd and 3rd, they're in 13th and 14th at the moment. With the exception of Liam Leckie, who's in 10th, just behind Andrew McMurray. Oliver Brooks is in 3rd, and he's in 17th. Braden Daniels improves into 19th. Oof, we got a car parked there, and that's Marshall Scary. And then Alex Zier retakes it. The 2:16.1. Tyler Kern improves. And Tyler Kern just separates. Now with Jeff Koffold in the middle of him and Andrew Korostecki for the lead of the AM class. Fantastic stuff with 2 minutes and 34 seconds left to go. See these times keep changing. Brandon Burns improves into 36. Peter Flanner has been improving lap by lap, but he's still in the 2:27s. Matt Benson improves into 33rd. I can only imagine. Oh, Lee Winters is into 36. I haven't said his name, that's for sure. Theo still out there, yet to set a lap, but he's trying his best. And Eric Koonsman also 5 laps in, trying to set a time. The last one was invalid. He's got the cookie monster of Mark Sherman just ahead of him. We have 5 drivers who have not set times, have not come out of the pits, and I hope they've raced before because it is not going to be ideal with how this race starts. They have not set even, have gotten a feel for the conditions here. They're going to go bowling. That's for sure. Prashant Jayaraman is still out there trying to fly and take P1 away from Elliott Burton. That separation is less than half a second. Chris Shearling's still out there. Jake Daly is still out there. Mark Foley is still out there, but he is slowing out. Oh, it's an outlap. He's trying to give way to people. Through Canada corner he goes. He's going to have enough time for one run. Maybe it's a low fuel strategy. We'll see. Andrew Korostecki already in, and he's in 6th. That could change. Jeff. 1 run left to go for him. This is going to be his final attempt. Oof, somebody's off there. I think that's, oh, they already went to the pits. Trent Schickelman. Welcome to the league. Hope I'm saying that right. Mark Turek across the line. Is that an improvement? Yes, it was. Or no, that was Theo Nolasco who improved, and just went between those two of Mark and Trent. There is in P27. Great way to finish that one. Aiden Gertz here trying to make a move. Eric Koonsman across the board with the checkered flag gets 1 lap in That counted. That's P15. Peter Flanner improved into P38 with a 218. He found a whole 10 seconds there, folks. Fascinating. Chris Sherling is in. Mark Foley is not. I think we have some other drivers, too. Across the board, Tom Smith. No improvements from some people. Tom Smith improves into 27th. Reagan Chandler across the board. An improvement for Reagan here into 47th. Andrew McMurray, and he improved from P13. Not an improvement either. John Javecki. Foot to the floor. Looks like he's taking this fully in. Improves his time and his position. 21st for him. Rodrigo Theory. Does not improve his time. Joshua Justice. Improves his time. I don't know if about his position, though. He's P47. And Brandon Burns improves his time and position. 36. Mark Foley goes into the pits. Andrew McMurray's going again, but that's not going to be anything. Matt Benson is parking it. All right, here's your order. Take a look here at the grid. P1 through P15, congratulations. You're in the top spots that everyone can see. P16, Andrew Frank. 17th for Dylan Thomas, 18th for Oliver Brooks, 19th for Rodrigo Theory, Carter A. Thompson in 20, John Javecki 21, Colin Pepper 22, Marshall Scari 23, Todd Buellmore 24, Angel Bonello Soto in 25, Andrew Fagan in 26, Tom Smith 27, Trent Checkelman in 28, Theo Nolasco in 29, Mark Turek in 30, Lars Tyhouse in 31, Ben Laughter in 32, Aiden Gertzen 33, Isaac Gardner 34, Craig Reese 35, Brandon Burns 36, Matt Benson 37, Kyle Strauss 38, Peter Flanner 39, Craig Carroll 40, Lee Winters 41, Forrest Holland 42, Joshua Justice 43, Adam Thomas 44, Steve McAllister 45, Joshua D 46, Reagan Chandler in 47, Daryl Carrington 48, Mark Sherman 49, Rick Rishon 50, Michael Authen in 51, RJ Lopez in 52, John Bellone in 53, and Andrew Edwards 54. If those last couple drivers show up, there's a chance that they don't, and then we're down to what we have. At the moment, Mark Sherman is towards the back there. All right. We have Andrew at the oh, cool. All right, let's do one of those. So he's in 50th. Rick Rishon, Michael Othen, RJ Lopez, and John Bellone did not show up, and we are fully gridded. So 50 drivers. Conditions were already they're still wet-ish on some parts of the track, so this is going to be interesting to say the least, because we will get some rain later on. Every shot that you're seeing right now is brought to you by Mark Foley. Looks like someone's blinking as well. This is going to be the lap 1 coverage that you'll see not only for the pace lap, but for lap 1. Get a good glimpse of all the action that is probably taking place on track that you sometimes can see and sometimes you can't. Quite the shot, I'm gonna be honest. I like it. You know, just like the with the wet conditions that will arise, it's kind of like the last lap of Daytona. It's all luck. Oh, someone has a lot of it here, because they're going to need it. I think that's a Canada car. Is that a maple leaf on the side? Red and white, and it looks like the last driver on the grid. Maybe not last? Somebody is out of order. Mark Sherman's 49th. He's just a little behind on his line. On his row, I should say. Imagine this shot. Race starts and you see nothing but wings going everywhere. I've seen it happen, and I'm sure we'll see it again. Lovely shot, but where's Canada Corner? There it is. Very funny that there's an outhouse right there in that corner. Couldn't put it in a more disturbing place, to say the least. And we are about to go green. Flags away. Leigh Burton gets a good jump off the line as we have all these drivers going through. And through turn 1, it looks fairly clean so far. These guys going 2 wide, almost 3 wide. I saw 3 wide at the back of the pack there, as Mark Foley has jumped up 3 spots, actually, I think, and is pushing. And more side-by-side action. Mark Foley and Jeff Hoffel really pushing. Jake Daly hasn't made a step. Chris Chitterling down 2 from where he started, and he's got another driver down the inside line on him, and I think that is Tyler Kern, as it stays fairly clean side by side, going 2 wide. Turn 5. And oh, there's John Javecki making a move, and the Taco Bell is having spot. No, John Javecki is spun around in turn 7, I think. And he's going to go tumbling down the order for sure, as they're still going 2 wide through some of these corners, and it is going to be tricky. And look at the jump. Elliott Burton's already shot away 1.5 seconds, and everyone else is zooming through. Lap 1 already showing itself. Oh, it's impressive. And the gaps are already forming this much as we're seeing guys rifle in, and the rain comes. The rain hits on lap 1, end of lap 1. So the speed to overtake has now been changed. Eric Koonsman up 6 positions from where he started. Chris Chitterling down 5. And I think it might be another one. Oh, just lost Eric Koonsman. That's 7. Liam Leckie is going to join him and both overtake Chris Chitterling on the straight. Further back, you have Dylan Thomas, who's also up 2. And he's doing just fine. Now 3, as he's got Alex Zier there. And then further back, Andrew McMurray, who's lost 16 positions from where he started. Joshua Justice up 14. And the Taco Bell livery driver, that was this Ferrari here, he was off at one point on lap 1, and that's where we can see that his luck is just kind of unfortunate for the moment. And there's more rain, as we see. Mark Turek is up 3. Brandon Burns up 10 and 26. And is he going to get on the outside, trying to overtake Theo Nolasco, and he does so for 11th. 11 gain for him. And it is very punchy. I thought it was going to be a little bit more, as Prashant Jayaraman, who's down 12, maybe giving... Oh, no. And saves it. What a save. Say what you want about the contact there. He saved that car. What an amazing save from Dylan Thomas, part-time co-commentator. Wow, what a move. Jayaraman and Dylan Thomas made contact and was able to make it work, as Colin Pepper has gone through, up 8. Angel Manila Soto, he's up 12 spots in P13, and he's rocking pretty well. Car number 44 in a Mercedes. Colin Pepper, Dylan Thomas re-gets the move down on Prashant Jayaraman and gets ahead. He was up 4, 2 still good. And there's Rodrigo Theory also making up some ground there. He's up 2. And Colin Pepper is going to try to take that inside line and doesn't even need to, as he gets that move down on Travis Deegan, who's down 5 from where he started. Mark Foley is now caught up and has outpaced Elliott Burton by a full second on the last lap, with the fastest lap recorded, and now he's up 4 spots as he's overtaken Elliott Burton for the lead of this race. You're on lap 3. Wow, that's fantastic. Jake Daly's also in a similar scenario. He hasn't gone up or down. Jeff is just ahead of him, 4 spots gained, and I think he might be trying to hold on to this. Dylan Thomas trying to make another move here, does so on Chris Chitterling. Chris Chitterling's now down 11. Further back, you have Ben Lafter up 14, and He's on the outside of this next corner here. But does he make the move? And yes, he does. That's Travis Deegan that he was battling. That's 15 gained. Everywhere else, Adam Thomas. Trying to make a move here on Tom Smith. And has it. Craig Reese also trying to make something happen. On the outside of the carousel. It's going to wind down and away from him as we have Craig Carroll off on the side there. Does so, though. Boom! Big spray. And Craig Reese holds it down there and is trying to make some moves here as they got another driver of Adam Thomas and Theo Nolasco. They're trying. Lars Tyhouse is also involved in this. There's 4 drivers that are all in this mix. Theo Nolasco is on the inside, and Craig Reese on the outside gets Adam Thomas and Theo Nolasco. It's a little wide there. Lars Tyhouse now has to worry as... Oh, and he has spun around, and that spun Craig Reese around as well, and they are dropping down the order and backing out of the way there. We have drivers already going into the pits, and Liam Leckie, who's already got a meatball flag. We'll have to take a look at what's happening there. It is chaos, as areas still have drivers staying out there on track, while others are opting to go a little bit longer. I don't even know what to say. A chaotic start. I mean, it was pretty clean, all things considered, with only 3 drivers really dropping to the back of the pack, and we'll see what happens. Joshua Justice up 25. Impressive result so far. We'll hope that he can keep this. I think this pack is the pack that is not gone in the pits just yet. We got Andrew Frank as the first driver out that went into the pits. And so P30 onward has taken tires, with the exception of Peter Flanner, who's in the pits, and Craig Carroll, who's also in the pits. So we'll see what happens. Is Mark Foley going to go in? He's got a 2.1 second gap to Elliott Burton, and Prashant Jayaraman has Travis Deegan just ahead of him, who's just been kind of going backwards right now. Both of them are struggling. Did you see that dust up back there? That was Alex Zier who hit that puddle, and it just popped. Jake Daly has spun around. And candid corner. Oh, no, it's not him. Oh, he does spin slightly. Oh, yeah, he's trying to get that back out there. That's unfortunate. He's in the pits. Someone else spun as well. That was one of the everyone shuffling into the pits, and some people didn't, and that was a scary scenario there. As now you have Mark Foley in the pits with a fresh set on. Where's our P30 drivers? That's going to be Andrew Frank, who's rounding corner. He's not going to be close to where Mark is right now, as Mark is exiting the pits. Some of these drivers are exiting the pits. Andrew Frank is still in a good spot there, P30, as he is rounding the penultimate corner. He's in 29th, and he'll probably gain back some positions here as there's still drivers shuffling out of the pits at the moment. Joshua Justice, impressive so far. He has not pit. 35 spots gained. It will go down a little bit after this. Mark Foley is our lead of our drivers that have pit. Jeff Koffold has also got out of the pits, and he's in 11th. Andrew McMurray just got passed by Mark Foley, and he has yet to pit. So we'll see the competitive advantage it has to staying out longer versus shorter and going in at the moment. And it could be anything. John Javecki's back out, down 16. Might have been one of those drivers that lost out. And there's Steve McAllister. Whoa! And Kyle Strauss and Craig Reese all joining in suit. And what was that? So hits that other driver of Kyle Strauss, and then someone else barely misses. I think that was Matt Benson. They both have meatball flags as well. That is going to be rough. And yeah, they're barely able to make it through turn 3 with those cars out there on track. Andrew Korostecki, at the moment, is leading this race in the AM class. Wow. And there is a safety car that has been called out. And I can only imagine it has something to do with the fact that you have so many drivers out on track with some broken cars. And they're... So who's going to win out on this one? That is going to be these drivers that did not go into the pits. P1 through P8. That is... it depends on where's the safety car at the moment. Actually, no, it's not going to help them. This is going to be a rough one to see. We see some cars being passed to get their lead lap back. I am not quite sure how this is all going to shape up. Let's take a look here at what happened. Craig Reese was one of the last to spin. Kyle Strauss once almost parked on track. That's Steve McAllister also. That's 3 off in total. The pirouette though. Look at that. They both go at the same and lose it out. And that's kind of what starts this entire thing. All 3 of them. But it didn't show the safety car before that. It was Craig Carroll on lap 5. And then Elliot Burton lost it for a second, but back out there. I mean, good on him for catching that one. That probably dropped him down. And then you have Eric Koonsman. Oh, he also hit. I didn't even see, but he also hit Jake Daly. That's unfortunate. Elliot Burton also is the... I thought that was a draft punk, and yeah, that was him who spun it later. Loses out a spot there for position to Jeff Koffold. And before that, lap 3, Craig Reese and Lars Tiehaus. Oh, I think he just hits the back there of that other driver. We look back and go to the chopper cam. I think it's a concertina effect. Yeah, he hits that driver, hits him again, and then Craig Reese is already trying to slow down, but not much more he can do. Gets hooked alongside there. Peter Flanner. Oh, there's a crash, and that's Steve McAllister. He tries to get out of the way, and that sets him... Or no, that's Craig Carroll, I think. Yep, that's Craig Carroll. Oh, no. Was he... I mean, I think, honestly... If you look at it again, it looks like he's trying to gas his way forward or reverse hard. I don't know. That was rough. Liam Leckie and Andrew Frank both. Liam Leckie spins. They both spin in just perfect synchronicity. Craig Carroll's off at the start of, or that was lap 3. And you know what's funny? What is this? Okay, so lap 1 almost okay. So it's two drivers at each of the Peter Flanner and Matt Benson maybe, and then yep, Forrest Holland's just in that. That's the start of the race. This looks like a mess. It's a mess, all right. The safety car is still out, and Mark Foley is 5th. So people did pit, and who were those drivers? That would have been Andrew Korostecki, who jumps back out, and the drivers that did pit. Yes, this did not work out for them. That was the least ideal thing that could happen for Andrew Korostecki. He was leading the AM class and also leading the overall. Is down now into 37th. It's definitely was a mess, to say the least. But lap 1 was the cleanest lap we had. Only one incident occurred, and that was Peter Flanner. And I gotta think that was Matt Benson, who's right next to Peter Flanner right now. So yeah, Forrest Holland's in 45. So yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Rough. All right, let's take a look here at who's leading what. Chris Chitterling has not gone into the pits. Arguably, all these drivers are going to have to get fuel again. So it's going to be a splash towards the end anyway. So he's going to probably stay out long and run a short fuel splash to the end of this race. Be nice to know what the drivers are thinking in terms of the pit scenario for fuel. They've already pit once. Some of these drivers, they pit on the last lap, so maybe they could go on lap 7 of 20. It's possible. Be nice to know what any of the drivers are thinking in regards to that. Prashant Jayaraman is in 2nd, and he is the leader of the Pro-Am class. Then you have Tyler Kern, who's got Regan Chandler just behind him. And Tyler Kern's won before, won a couple races. Regan Chandler hasn't, and this could be a great opportunity for Regan, who's up 36 spots. Oh, Regan hasn't pit, though. Neither has Andrew Edwards or Oliver Brooks. Never mind, that competition may not work out for them. We'll take hopefully a look here and see how this all pans out. Andrew McMurray, the last driver of the leaders, should just get a good look at him here. He's the Taco Bell. He also hasn't pit, so it might go down. It's not going to go to Oliver Brooks or Andrew Edwards, who also haven't pit. I'm going to take a look here at a gander of this driver of Colin Pepper, and that isn't a Canadian livery. He is in this Waffle House livery. Let's look at this, whatever's ahead of me. Andrew Edwards. It is a Canadian livery. The front end just didn't have a maple leaf on it. And we're about to go green. Single file. And some of these guys are already taking it too wide. That is going to be a messy scene. Going into turn 1, maybe. We're holding long on that lap 1 replay. Or what's live right now. See how wide that Draft Punk Silver went into turn 1, but so far it is fairly clean, and we're not going to see all of the field because they're too far, not bunched up enough. Marshall Scary on the inside of somebody. Not sure who that was. Andrew Edwards. We got one driver who's made a mistake, and he is dropping down the leaderboard. Andrew Edwards. Oh, and there is a bump, and they keep it together. I think that was Dylan Thomas and Andrew Fagan. It looks like it was. Yeah, that was Dylan Thomas and Andrew Fagan. And Eric Koonsman pushing alongside somebody. Love to know. Back to green flag racing we go, and it is pretty much single file with more rain. What's the weather look like? Light rain at 18 degrees Celsius. Track temp is 17 degrees. It's moderately wet on track with winds of 49 kph going north. Humidity at 93%. That would suck. It is Road Atlanta after all. Alright. Can't see anything from that spray angle anymore, so let's take a look here at what's happening. Ben Laughter is... It looks like he has some damage. But that is Andrew Edwards. Oof. Aiden Gertz also off. Ben Laughter. A couple other drivers are also off. It's an Adam... not Adam Thompson. Andrew... Wish I knew. It's like they're back out on track, but a couple drivers went off. Alright, you know some have to go in anyway, but when are they going to do it? Andrew Edwards is still out there, up 24 spots. He's got to go and pit eventually. Nick Mazza, I should say. Nick Mazza, who's just gone by Jeff Koffold here for P7. Andrew McMurray's up there and has not pit just yet. Braden Daniels hasn't pit. Travis Deegan hasn't pit. And Prashant Jayaraman. The only factor here, folks, is because these drivers took tires. Like Mark Foley, who was leading this race, he's going to have a better maneuverability here, per se, against these drivers. Depends on whether or not they even did have dries on. Look at that. I mean, Andrew McMurray just passing Mark Foley. So did he already have wets on at the start of this race and just said, you know, I'll burn my tires for a couple laps? Be interesting because I don't think we have any wet whispers here for tires. Jesus. Yeah, you know, I don't think anyone has shown. We haven't had enough wet races to know whether or not somebody's very good at driving on wet conditions. Although, at the moment I would say there's a few people I don't think it is because they've crashed a couple times. And let's see, Joshua D was off track there. He's going to drop down a couple of spots. He's pit. We have Todd Buellmore, who's pit twice. Craig Reese is a black flag. And of course, Stecky is in the pits as well. Everything's kind of close. Take a look and see what happens here. Looks like Andrew Fagan is going to try to make a move here on Oliver Brooks. And look, he's using that curb. And something you ideally don't want to do, but look at, he's got the speed down, and Oliver Brooks is in his rear view. And he's pushing. And Andrew Fagan has already pit for tires, so good news for him. Marshall Scary also going to try to make a move here on Oliver Brooks, who hasn't pit just yet. Oh. When it rains, it pours. Elliot Burton, he's lost it there in the first, or on after he on lap 4 when he got a new set of tires, rejoined safely. Back out there, but loses a couple spots. Down 13 now from where he started. Qualifying on pole. Impressive. I'm on board here with Rodrigo Theory, who's got Tyler Kern, his teammate, just ahead of him. I'm sure they're already in a voice chat, just trying to encourage each other and push. The difference last lap was marginal, but Rodrigo was quicker. And you could tell they are nursing these tires. The track conditions are rough. What can you say? Nothing more than that. all things considered, it's a very, very strong result here for Dylan Thomas, who went door to door with another driver, saved it all on his own, and then he's up 4 spots. He was up 4 spots when he overtook on the outside of the carousel, and now he's got Colin Pepper ahead of him, trying to make a move here on the Waffle House driver. Regan Chandler, E3 Motorsports. It's an impressive result, up 31 spots. I think it might be our most gained at the moment, but still has to go in the pits. So do a lot of people. Side by side with Marshall Scari. Marshall Scari opting to make that move into turn 1. Let's see if it works out. And it does. Out of 50 drivers, we have 42 out there on track. Regan Chandler not letting it go is side by side here with Marshall Scari. Trent Scheckelman trying to make a move here down the inside line of Regan, and yep, has to give him some space, and Trent has the spot. Is Alex Zier going to try to make a move here as well? Yes, Alex Zier does make the move and gets on through Regan Chandler. That's 2 spots lost in 2 corners. The rough stuff that you don't want to happen. Ben Lafter back there trying to make a move here on Isaac Gardner, who are both having pretty impressive races. 13 positions gained, 10 positions gained. Adam Thomas is in the back with 21 gained. Jeff, Mark, and Mazza can probably make it to the end without pinning again. That's encouraging. So if that's the case, we got P1, 2, and 3 that are 6, 7, and 8. But these drivers in P1 through 5 have not gone into pit. There's really no positive staying out long besides shortening your fuel stint. It's not going to look pretty either way. They're going to tumble down the order. After safety car, there's gaps forming now, and maybe they're hoping to push a little bit longer. Craig Carroll is up 5 spots where he started. All things considered, it's pretty good considering he did have major contact with Peter Flanner. But he's up 5. Taking a look as well. Chris Chitterling, it says he pit on lap 4. But his stint doesn't say that he pit on lap 4. That might be wrong. Alright, let's take a look here. Andrew Edwards on lap 11. Canadian livery driver there. Just a little spin. And then a couple drivers up. Brandon Burns hits that puddle. You hit that puddle, and that's all she wrote. And Theo Nolasco here, going wide through turn 3, barely missing the collecting of Joshua D. And Joshua D on his own here. What happened there? Oh, hit Lars Tiehouse. Lars hitting the puddles there, spins, and Two get by, he gets clipped by Aiden Gertz, and bang, ding, ow. That is something wrong. And hey, does swell. He keeps himself out of the way there. And come on, come on. All right. He just lost it all on his own. And then Theo Nolasco also on lap 10. I mean, he avoided what is eventually going to be this. At Aiden barely getting a clip of that. And if you go on board here, there's a surprise. And barely misses it, but it's enough. And drivers are still crashing out there on track. Oliver Brooks. Technically gifted. And it's just a little wide in turn 1. That's nothing bad. Elliot Burton on lap 10. No. Their spin. But, oh, he's in the pits. All right. Adam Thomas is back out. Up 8 spots where he started, 36. And you have Andrew Edwards just ahead of him. He's also in the pits. It's where you see some of these drivers that opted to stay out long. Now see how it works out for them as Andrew Edwards is still in the pits. And Adam Thomas passes on by. And there's not that many drivers that are in contention right now at the moment with getting passes or anything else. Trent Schickelman is one of the few that's within half a second of another driver. Everywhere else is they're close, but not too close. A lot. Take a look at Chris Chitterling, who it says he pit on lap 4, which doesn't make sense because that's not what I'm reading. Is this the time to go in? Lap 13? No, it is not. Prashant has opted to go in. Travis Deegan, Braden Daniels, Andrew McMurray stays out. There's Mark Foley is going to jump the line here because he was on par with these drivers that were out there because of the safety car. Honestly, the safety car would have been the opportunity to go in. I mean, you're going to lose it anyway. All those drivers. Oh, Andrew McMurray having some struggles there. Now there's Braden down into 13th. Alex Zier's going to cross over. Marshall Scari's going to get some spots. Reagan Chandler is staying out still. That's crazy. And yeah, they're all shuffling back out, and it is unfortunate. Eric Koonsman's in the pits, but he has a black flag. Mark Foley now into 3rd with only... I'm not sure how this works out for Chris Chitterling, but I'll say all things considered unfortunate because of the safety car. There are some massive gaps that were formed, and it doesn't look like Andrew McMurray is fully stable there as he finally goes too deep, finds his way back on the track, and even Nick Mazza has passed through. And the real battle for the pro class and the overall is these two drivers that are separated by 1.2 seconds. The Carrera Azteca driver and the Shake and Bake driver. I think that's right. Shake and Bake Racing. Rodrigo Theory's out there, and he's got Andrew Frank just ahead of him, 4/10. Check out the spray, though. What is he even looking at? The closer you get, the scarier it gets. And he was pretty competitive up until the kink. Dylan Thomas now on a screamer, up 10 spots. He's got Tyler Kern just in front of him. Chris Schilling has gone in, and there you have it. Nick Mazza and Mark Foley go through, and Andrew McMurray has gone in as well. Jeff is about to scream across there, and not much loss for old Jeff. He's back out on track, and he is now up 4 spots, back to P3. Now we have a real run of that field, which is P1 through P3 are the pros. All it is, I see it here, the AM class is leading right now in 4th. It's Tyler Kern, but the pro leader of Dylan Thomas is in 5th. And he's got Andrew Frank giving him a buffer to Rodrigo Theory, who's behind in 6 and 7. Andrew Frank in the AM class, Rodrigo Theory in the Pro-Am class. So give it to the AMs. They're ahead of the pros for now. And there goes Dylan Thomas. Or no, Rodrigo Theory making a move here on Andrew Frank. And there's one done and dusted. Now he's got a 2.3 second gap to chase for the lead of the Pro-Am class. But Dylan Thomas wants to make another car a buffer, and that is going to be Tyler Kern, who doesn't fight it too much as he has gone on through. And that's both Pro-Am drivers making moves in 1 lap through only a couple set of corners. And now he's up into 4th in the overall. Leaders battling leaders of separate classes. Things you don't think you're going to see in... But there it is. Colin Pepper in the Waffle House livery, Corvette. He is in 8th at the moment. He's got a 2.4 second... Ooh. Got a 10th gap to Andrew Frank here. Not sure where... this driver is in terms of a matchup for the numbers, the little bot numbers behind the ranking sheet, but I think Colin Pepper is definitely going to be in the pros next season. It'd be nice to see how many races this guy has done. I don't think he's actually done enough. Only done 2 races, and he's quick in both of them. Andrew Edwards out. Really making it easy for these drivers there. Talk about movers and shakers. Steve McAllister's in P23, hit on lap 3. Up 22 spots. Boris Holland up into 26. He's up 16 spots, now 15. As Eric Koonsman has just gone on by on him. Another mover and shaker, Joshua Justice. Got 24 or 25. Travis Deegan did just pass him. And Ben Laughter's also in the mix there. And with 16 gain, maybe 15. It's Travis Deegan. We know he's quick. He's making moves. Not ideal for Travis there because he is 16th in the overall. And he's fighting for the lead of the Pro Championship. Joshua Justice making a move on Ben Laughter. It's 26 positions gained. I think our current overall highest from a qualifying driver, I think in general. Mark Sherman. Back in 29th with Isaac Gardner just ahead of him. He's missing that rear. Is he going to try to make a move here into turn 5? No. Close, though. Marshall Scary losing out a couple spots there. That's Travis Deegan and Joshua Justice getting on by. And even further, you have Ben Laughter and Prashant Jayaraman, who are also joining this fight. Looks like there's just follow the Travis Deegan train because these two drivers are cutting through the field. Oh, and that is Ben Laughter. Let's take a look. Oh, not enough space. Not enough space. Holding his brakes. Now he just has to wait. I think after him doing the spin, it was like a... Whoa! Oh, no, no, no. No. Oh. I was about to say that was a clean re-entry, but then it's Craig or Steve. That was Steve McAllister, who has to go into the pits. I don't know if he has heavy set number of damage. I think he does. Yeah, he's holding his wheel a little kinked. But he's got some suspend. It's unfortunate for Steve McAllister. He was on a quite the tear. Really unfortunate. Trying to drive around, getting a move done. P17. Well, and we have drivers exiting the pits for a second time. Maybe it was just fuel. Could have been just fuel. Take a look at that. Oh. No. Things you don't want to see. Who was that? Oh, and Jeff has even more damage. Oh, because those two... Oh, no. Hooks Joshua D. I think that's Alex Zier as well. And into the barrier, they go. This shapes up with Dylan Thomas is now in third. Oh, that was Dylan Thomas that hit Jeff Koffold. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. The livery is similar to the E3 Motorsports livery at the front end, so I was like not sure. I was like, wait, I don't think that driver is that high up, or maybe they were lap traffic, but that's not it at all. Like then where's Regan? Regan's over here, and they're battling Mark Sherman. Still Mark Sherman up 26, Regan up 23. Fantastic results either way for these drivers. And that's the white flag. And people are pitting on the last lap. Oh, God. Yeah, that's rough. That is really rough. Well... For some drivers, skill plus luck was not enough. For others, it's just skill. Mark Foley put on a good one. Say a clinic, was able to take the lead at the start of the race. Take it to lap 4, get those tires on, and just keep committing. And what a result for Mark Foley. Nick Mazza in second. Dylan Thomas, a couple of on-track incidents with an amazing save on his first, I think that was lap 3, with the contact with Prashant Jayaraman, and that was a fantastic result for him. All things considered, he's up 14 spots there with his rival of Rodrigo Thierry not going to make a 2.3 second gap difference. And there you have it. A swing in the championship standings with a few races left to go. Mark Foley could be season 17's champion, but right now he is Road America's champion. A win for the pro. Nick Mazza, P2. Dylan Thomas just a little bit further ways to go, and he's going to be Pro-Am champ for this race. Wins here at Rodrigo Theory in second, fifth in class, Kyler Kern in fifth, winning for the AM class, and Colin Pepper in sixth for the rookie class, Chris Chitterling in seven, Braden Daniels in eight, Travis Deegan in ninth. What a recovery for him. Joshua Justice in 10th, Prashant Jairaman in 11, Andrew McMurray 12, Marshall Scary 13. And Andrew Fagan has a little bit ways to go here. So any drivers that are already done P37 and onward have Andrew Fagan in 14, Brandon Burns in 16. Or sorry, 15. Jake Daly in 16, Trent Scheckelman in 17, Todd Beelmore in 18, Eric Koonsman a little bit ways to go, and he's in 19th. Isaac Gardner in 20th, Forrest Holland in 21st, Regan Chandler 22nd, Adam Thomas 23rd, Joshua D 24th, Mark Sherman 25th, and Tom Smith and is 26th if crosses line over Aiden Gertz in 28 or 7. Lee McAllister in 28. Mark Turek in 29. Lee Winters in 30th. Daryl Carrington is still out there. A little bit further ways to go. And we got no results for Ben Laughter or Andrew Korstekki. So it is after that, people have finished, but until this race session ends, we won't know after P33. Craig Reese in P32, 32, and Theo Nolasco in 33. Ben Laughter's could be something else. Yet the results just seemingly don't make sense, and that's gonna be who won the rookie. Tyler Kern won the rookie. Dylan Thomas won the Pro-Am. Colin Pepper won the Colin Pepper won the rookie. Tyler Kern AM, Dylan Thomas Pro-Am, and Mark Foley the win. Let's see if any of them there are here to go. Let's take a look. Thank you all for joining me. We'll start off with the leader, Mark Foley. Congratulations on that win. What a clinic you put on. I mean, fantastic result getting by Elliot Burton on the opening laps. And then, you just hung in there till lap 4, took the tire change, went back out there, persevered. I mean, pretty dominant that you had a 2-point-something second lead. Before the safety car, you were pushing pretty hard as well. So, I mean, that must have felt pretty good. You probably put in a lot of practice, and the results showed today. But how was it after the safety car?
Well, yeah, I mean, you say we did a lot of practice. A lot of the sessions we ran were nothing like it was here. Like we were expecting kind of spotty rain or on and off rain where it would be half dry, half wet. But it came down. Like this was not light rain. When we were going down the back straight towards Canada Corner, you couldn't see a thing. So it was way wetter than I thought it was going to be. If it looked like a clinic, it absolutely did not feel like one. That was the most stressful race I've done in the league for sure.
I mean, it must have been. Did you see any benefit with the safety car? Because it did bunch up all those drivers that decided to stay out longer, or was it a detriment that for those drivers that ended up not, opting for the safety car? Like once that safety car came in, it's like they are all bunched up with you guys. So anything benefit negative there for you?
I think the timing of it was absolutely on the cusp. Like I thought for a while that I was a lap short of fuel. And if at the pace I was going, it would have extended the race an extra lap and I would have run out. So I had a sort of mild panic with like 3 laps to go. And I was asking everyone else, like Dylan and Tyler, like, how much fuel do you have? How much do I need? How many laps are left? I was freaking out. But I think that's because I pitted just before the safety car and I filled the tank. And I think that was just enough to squeak it
Wow.
over the line.
Well,
But yeah.
I mean, what a fantastic result, and just like that sheer number, like maybe a little bit of luck there with the fuel, but well, fantastic result. I mean, congratulations. Maybe it wasn't clinic, but I mean, you made it look easy. Thanks for joining me, Mark. And I mean, I think you're pushing I mean, Travis Deegan had a little bit of a mishap throughout the race, but clawed back ninth place, which is, I mean, performative in a way, to say the least. I mean, he got back into the fight, but I think you're number one right now as far as the championship goes. Thanks for joining me, Mark.
All right, cheers, Jason. Thank you.
Mhm. Dylan Thomas. First of all,
Hey,
congratulations for the win there, in class. Also P3 on the podium steps. What was most interesting is you had this save on like lap 2 or 3 when you and Prashant got into it. I mean, what a save that was. I mean, I caught it live and I was like, Jesus, that is, I mean, all things considered, you still stayed up 2 after that. And I mean, you held it together. I saw some of your race throughout as I was going through, but I mean, when I got back to you towards the end, I was like, wow, you're up, I think 4 or 5 spots now at the end. No, sorry, it was 14 spots. I was missing a
yeah.
number. I mean, fantastic result.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know how the car was able to keep grip going into the carousel, and I got a little nudge from the inside from Prashant, but it just stuck with it. I knew when the rain would come, my pace was good, and I love driving in the rain, and just had to make it there. I had an adventurous race. I had some dust ups with other people, and I got very similarly lucky to Mark with my fuel. I crossed the line with point 0.1 fuel left. So if we would have
Wow.
went another lap, there was no chance for me. But yeah, it was a fun race. I came out of the safety car in 16th and was able to survive my way up to my first podium in the league.
Congratulations. I mean, it was a fantastic result. I know I did see it. You said some dust ups. I think I saw you and Jeff collided a little
Yeah,
bit there.
I
And
feel bad about that one. Yeah, I was
yeah,
coming downhill into turn 8, and there's a little bump that's on the right side there. And as soon as I hit that, I was sledding down that hill.
it's
And I
unfortunate.
gave him a nudge into the gravel. So we've already apologized, and hopefully he forgives me about that one. So
Yeah. Well, regardless of that one, I mean, great result. Thanks for joining me, Dylan. And I mean, again, all things considered, that save, I hope you clip it because it was a great save.
I'm
Thanks for
gonna have
joining
to
me.
get that one. Thank you, Jason.
Yep. Tyler Kern, congratulations. AM class win plus a top 5 win in the overall. That's got to feel pretty good. You beat the rookie by 1 position. I don't know if you knew, but Colin Pepper was just behind you, and he's a pretty quick driver. Um, So how was it, Tyler? How was the race? Because I know you had some AM class battles going on. Regan Chandler was behind you at one point. Was any of it stressful in that
Oh
regard?
yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, in the rain, pretty much every lap is stressful. So, you're fighting the car, the conditions, the puddles, curbs, you name it. So to have somebody less than 3 seconds behind you, I mean, that's a really small gap, all things considered, in the rain. So yeah, it was very stressful, and I was close on fuel. So I'm glad I put the max amount of fuel in at the pit stop, because if I didn't, I definitely wouldn't have made it. So yeah, tricky conditions all the way through the race.
Yeah, very tricky conditions. It was interesting to say the least of how that was working out. It was even better that your teammate was there with you. Were you guys just talking each thing through? Where you're like, is it too is it dry here? Is it damp here? Is there puddles? I know Rodrigo Theory finished just ahead of you, so as a double team points there, that's got to feel really good. Yeah, but you guys were kind of working together somewhat. How'd that go?
Yeah, it was good. It's nice to be able to, hey, look out for this puddle, watch that curb, oh, that's slippery, blah blah blah. So it's nice to have somebody right there, kind of experiencing the same stuff with you at the exact same time. So it was good. I was making sure I wasn't holding him up, and then when it got to the point where I was holding him up a little bit, it was time to let him go and let him race his race. But it doesn't really matter how much you practice in the rain. I practiced a lot, but you kind of just have to get out there and feel the car, and it helps having a teammate right behind you for that. So
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys were both battling in similar fashion there. I know at one point, yeah, Rodrigo wanted to get by you. Dylan Thomas wanted to get by there's there's another AM that was also involved in that, but there was like a quick shift there. Yeah, it was a fantastic result, and also P5 because the overall counts more. I think you're kind of locking down the AM class championship. It's maybe too early to say, but I mean, that is a great haul of points. Joshua Justice AM class finished 10th, second in class. So I think you had a good run here. I hope to see it that, that's how it works out for you.
Yeah, I hope I can seal the deal. So yeah, still early to tell, but yeah, I'm happy to get a top 5. So first top 5 in the league. So thanks, Jason.
Yeah,
Appreciate it, man.
congratulations. Yep, see you. And thank you, everybody. That was Go Dylan. This last lap was probably the most stressful. I almost got goofed up there. Oh, hey, everybody. And what can I say? The last lap doesn't make any sense, so I'll just pull this over and get through if it does. After P33, we had Ben Laughter 34, Andrew Frank 35, Alex Zier 36, Craig Carroll 37, Andrew Edgewords 38, Jeff Koffel 39, Andrew Korsaki 40, Oliver Burks 41, Matt Benson 42, Liam Leckie 43, Elliot Burton 44, Lars House 45, John Javecki 46, Angel Bonello 47, Peter Flanner 48, Kyle Strauss 49, Carter A. Thompson 50, and then everyone else. Actually, Carter A. Thompson didn't show up. There was 49 drivers. That's it, everybody. You can see the top 4 there. Congrats to all 4 of them. Leader, and leader. I mean, top 10. We're not getting a lot of these left anymore, but that's cool when we do see a top 10 of all leaders. That's it, everybody. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.